Hailey Bieber is getting candid about the PTSD and anxiety she's gone through since suffering from a mini stroke last year. She was on the Run Through with Vogue podcast, and here's what she had to say.
No, it was something that was completely unexpected. You know, when you're 25 and you're young and you believe you're really healthy and you know, do things to maintain your health, and all the doctors kept saying it was just kind of a perfect storm. It was a couple different factors that led to you having a small blood clot, and the blood clot traveled through the hole in my heart up to the brain, which is why I had, you know, what they call a mini stroke. And it was definitely the scariest thing I've ever gone through. I mean,
It sounded terrifying.
yeah, it was definitely really, really scary. And it's interesting because when I had it, I was actually in Palm Springs at the same place that I'm at right now. And like, even the first couple times coming back here after was like a little bit of a strange, triggering kind of feeling for me, because it's like you just remember exactly how everything happened in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the bright side for me was that it led me to find out that I had this hole in my heart. And it's something that I was able to have a procedure done to close it. So they put a device in my heart that's now in there forever. It's a permanent closure device. And basically that's it. You know, I have it in my heart forever.
Yeah. And you feel
the
good?
Scar tissue, I feel good. Yeah. The hole is closed now. You know, it took a couple months for it to heal all the way. And, you know, it's because the scar tissue has to grow back around the device in order for it to fully close that hole. So it's just, honestly, it's been a really interesting learning process, and it was very difficult. I struggled with a lot of anxiety after. I struggled with a little bit of PTSD, of just like the fear of maybe it was going to happen again. And it was just a feeling that I was like, I never want to experience that ever again. I mean, it was so terrifying, so jarring, so discombobulating in every single way that you can imagine. But yeah, I feel I'm now, you know, 7 months past the procedure, 8 months past having the TIA. And I feel like with time, it gets better, and it's gotten a lot better as time has gone on and as I've healed. And now knowing that the hole is closed, you know, it feels more complete for me. But it's something that I'm definitely very open to talking about. If it could help anybody else, then I'm always down. It was really hard for me to talk about it for a little while. Like even the video that I had made for my YouTube channel, it's hard for me to talk about that stuff. It brings back the feelings for me of going through that experience. So, you know, it's a little bit easier. It gets easier and easier with time to be able to talk about it. And, you know, I'm just really grateful that I was able to, you know, have amazing doctors and nurses and people that helped me heal and help me get to the bottom of what actually happened. Because I think when something scary like that happens and then there's no explanation, it's so much worse, because then you're like, well, why? And will this happen again? And what's the reason? And what was the cause? And we were able to get to the bottom of it. And then there was a solution, which I think is that was the thing that made me feel so much better and so grateful, that I was like, all right, we know what it is. It's fixable. Yeah. We can prevent this from ever happening again. And now we're at that point where, you know, I don't have to feel worried about going through that again. So to experience something that I had zero control over happening in my body was very scary and very jarring. I also didn't want it to turn me into the type of person that was going to be afraid all the time of like something bad happening, because I struggle with that anxiety just in general already. Like I struggle with anxiety, period, about several different things in life. I'm just now starting to come out of that kind of fight or flight feeling of being nervous about something bad happening again, or having another mini stroke, or the hole in my heart not being closed. I mean, there's so many thoughts that are like going through your head so much. The biggest reset for me was like having to really digest and know that, yes, this is something that happened to me. Yes, it was very scary. Yes, it was like a freak situation, but you're okay now. And we did get to the bottom of it. And you do have a healthy body. You are a healthy 26-year-old woman. Like, at this point, after that happened, I'm like, I have spent so much of my brain time thinking about this situation that I'm at the point where I'm like, I'd like to be able to continue to release it and just like live my life and enjoy it, because I felt so edgy about it for the last like almost year.